kicked off its annual convention, the nation's leading gun lobby. The main featured speaker at today's NRA convention was presumptive Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney. Mr. Romney, frankly, has been all over the map on gun issues during his career in politics, but the latest version of Mitt Romney proclaims himself to be a lifelong member of the NRA. Mr. Romney essentially just gave his stump speech at the NRA convention today, but he did add in a few lines about guns. And frankly, what he added in about guns was a really hard to understand few lines.
We need a president who will enforce current laws, not create new ones that only serve to burden lawful gun owners. President Obama has not. I will.
Okay, in order to understand just what Mitt Romney was trying to say today about guns, it's a very important issue in our polity, right? In order to understand what he's saying here, you actually sort of have to diagram his sentences. I mean, take that line we just played.
We need a president who will enforce current laws.
We need a president who will enforce current laws. Okay, so far so good. But then the next thing he says?
Not create new ones that only serve to burden lawful gun owners. President Obama has not. I will.
President Obama has not what? President Obama has not enforced current laws? Or are you talking about the second part of what you said? President Obama has not created new laws. I mean, technically, Mr. Romney is saying that President Obama has not created new laws. It is kind of hard to understand the dangling negative. I think what Mitt Romney is trying to give the impression of is that President Obama has created new restrictive gun laws. He has created new laws. But which ones exactly?
We need a president who will stand up for the rights of hunters and sportsmen and those who seek to protect their homes and their families. President Obama has not.
How has President Obama not done that exactly? What has he done to not stand for the rights of those people? What are you accusing him of?
If we're going to safeguard our Second Amendment, it's time to elect a president who will defend the rights President Obama ignores or minimizes.
What has President Obama been ignoring or minimizing, and how? Really? I mean, what is the accusation here? Do you want him to be overtly doing something that he is not doing? You are damning President Obama for doing what about guns, exactly?
We've all seen enough of President Obama over the last 3 years to know that we don't want another 4.
What is it about him that you are unhappy with on guns in particular? What is the basis of the complaint here? We reached out to the Romney campaign today to ask which specific new gun laws President Obama has passed that Governor Romney was describing today. They have so far not given us any answer. Hope springs eternal, though. It should be noted, after those were his lines on guns in the speech, and after that little mystifying map of vagueness today about guns, finally, Mitt Romney got to the punchline part of his speech. Listen.
In a second term, he'd be unrestrained by the demands of re-election.
Ah, I see. That's what this is all about. President Obama hasn't done anything now, but he has a secret plan to take away everybody's guns in the next term. A secret plan that he's not pursuing now. But he will pursue that secret plan if he wins a second term. That is what gun politics are like right now. It's this phantom stuff about how President Obama has a secret plan to take away your guns. And you can tell he has a secret plan to take away your guns because he hasn't yet taken away your guns, don't you see? But still, you need to stop him from doing this thing that he has not done. That's what our gun politics are all about right now, rather than anything to do with what is actually going on in the country about guns. And there is something actually going on in the country about guns. We do actually have a real gun violence problem in this country. Literally, in the streets of St. Louis, just outside of where the NRA was meeting today, there is a crisis, if you ask St. Louis. And it was the same thing last year. Last year, the NRA convention was held where? In the city of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, a city with neighborhoods like Homewood that are absolutely torn apart by gun violence. And while the lobby that determines our gun laws in this country plays fantasy politics about policies that don't exist and secret plans, the consequences of that being what determines our gun policies plays out right on the streets around them in flesh and blood.